talked about the plan and the projects and the roads, but let's talk about the vehicles that go on those roads. And I want to talk about my support for public transportation. We know that due to the good efforts of Governor Hochul and her economic development plans, a lot of these companies that are coming to communities outside of New York City, talk about Micron in central New York, but also in my district in the town of Gates, the new Amazon distribution facility. They're locating outside of center cities.
Right.
And we want to make sure that we're connecting workers to these economic opportunities, specifically workers who are often left behind, right? Communities of color, low-income populations. How do we connect underserved communities to the economic opportunities that we as a state are working towards? Can you give your thoughts on the role of public transportation's role in making sure that these workers have that economic impact?
So I think it's integral, right? We always want to make sure that if we're fortunate enough to have an employer anywhere in New York State that is providing access to jobs, that's providing an economic development opportunity for our communities. And so working with the transit authorities in every portion of the state, certainly the non-MTA elements, we want to make sure that we do provide that level of service and transit. The transit agencies themselves undertake exhaustive study and analysis about where those ridership trends are. We are very much in support of additional opportunities, and we've got them built into our capital plan. How do we expand, for instance, bus rapid transit? How do we make sure we've got an innovative mobility fund that's actually looking to try and do some of those elements, and I know you're a big supporter of that as well.
I appreciate you mentioning BRTs or bus rapid transit lines. I'm thrilled that Albany has kind of led the way here, but I know that Syracuse and Buffalo and hopefully Rochester are going to be moving in that direction. That's going to take funds. I am proposing an additional $5 million fund that would allow these worker connections to take place. So I call it the Worker Access Transit Fund, so that companies in all parts of New York State have access to work with their public transit authority to create those direct routes for workers. And ultimately, I think that will help with economic growth across the state.